Guys, a lot of people have been coming to my DM asking me about how to go about buying the Dangote refinery IPO. It is important for you to know, number one, that the private IPO was out last month, but for the public IPO, as at today, as at present, SEC has come out to say Dangote has not even applied yet for that IPO to be listed publicly. So for now, there is no Dangote refinery public IPO for you to purchase. I know many of us would like to buy the IPO through the IPO process because the IPO price will be cheaper. But one thing you also have to note is that if you buy through the IPO process, you may not get your stocks or your shares showing in your portfolio or in your whatever platform that you use until like 3 to 6 months time. Another thing you have to know is that if you want to buy it cheaper through the IPO process, you may have to wait for like 3 to 6 months before it will show in your platform or in your portfolio whatsoever brokerage app or account that you use. It may take up to 3 to 6 months before it starts reflecting. That is if you buy through the IPO process, and usually the IPO price is usually cheaper. Number 3, how can you buy through the IPO process? How can you buy Dangote refinery IPO through the IPO process? Bamboo app has already made this very easy for everyone. So if you do not have the Bamboo app, go and download the Bamboo app and you'll be able to access the Dangote refinery IPO whenever it is listed. The fourth point, I want you to note that not everyone will get the unit or the number or the quantity or the units of the Dangote refinery IPO that they request for. For instance, if you request for 1,000 units, you may not get up to that 1,000 units of the Dangote refinery IPO. You may get maybe 800 or 500. So put that at the back of your mind. If you want to buy the Dangote refinery IPO when it is listed, you may not get the required quantity that you asked for, that you requested for. Number 5 point, I will advise that you do not go in with all your money at once, and that means you should average down. If you have, for instance, 2 million to invest in the Dangote refinery IPO, I would advise that you go in first with 40% or 50%, put in 1 million or 800k, and as time goes on, you add more to the units you already have. And what this means is that there is a tendency that this stock or this share price would fall at some point. So imagine if you go in with all your 2 million at once and then it falls at some point, you may not have enough money to buy more. But if you go in with 40% or 50%, when the stock price falls at that point, you can easily, still buy, and that is you averaging down and also still making profits while at it. And final point, I would say you can have a separate stock account or a separate brokerage account for your Dangote refinery shares, so that when you buy the shares and the price is fluctuating whatsoever, it doesn't affect your general portfolio. However, while we're waiting, please save your money, keep your money, stay prepared so that you can take this opportunity when the time comes. Thank you for listening.